Okay, hello everyone. I'm so happy to be here with you. So I need that please you turn on your cameras because it's necessary. We are right now recording and we will have all these videos in YouTube. When you want to see it, I will send you the link tomorrow morning. So I need that everyone please turn on the camera and please put the microphone off. Right now I have 8 participants. We have like 14 lessons. So we'll wait that they come and then we will start. The idea every class is that we try to be as punctual as we can because we have a lot of topics to talk and to discuss. So the most of the times we will wait until 8 and 5 minutes and then we will start. I need that you tell me if all of you are understand me or do you need that I start to do like Spanish, English? Um, ¿Me entienden? ¿Aló? ¿Hay vida? ¿Tengo vida aquí? No los escucho. ¿Alguien me habló?
Hi, I think it would be fine if you continue in English.
Okay, perfect. I need to know that everyone tell me if it's right. And if don't, we will start to do it like Spanish, English, because the idea is that all of us can understand the lesson. The most of the times, it will take me time to remember all your names, but we will share a lot of time together. So just give me time. I know that tonight and for this course or workshop will be like a lot of people from different nationalities. So that will be like an amazing exchange for all of us. We will learn a lot, and I'm so sure about it. And then with time, I need that you start to talk about the interest because that will help me to prepare the lesson. Hello, everyone. And the idea, as I told you to the people that connect at time, is that for this lesson, please, I need that you be so punctual. And of course, you know that twice a week, we will have some speaking lessons. And that time, we need to organize our schedules by minutes because I will have 15 minutes with each person, right? So I need to organize the group and I need that all of us has compromise and can be present at time because if don't, you will affect the other people. Right now we are 12, so we will start. As I told you by WhatsApp, my name is Gali Luna. I am a lawyer from Colombia. I have been like traveling, working with law for a couple of years, but also I have my law firm in my country. I am in this moment. I am working for the Special Jurisdiction for Peace in my in my country in Colombia, because we are trying to move on from the biggest conflict in South America. And basically, I am a consultant in human rights, especially with indigenous communities. By the time that we start to continue talking in our lessons, you will know more about me, you will know about my experience and all the tips that I want to give you. But also it's necessary that all of us understand that this will be a place where the idea is that all of us learn from the others. And I'm so sure that I have to learn a lot to all of you, especially because we now are a group that are so multicultural and we can learn. Also, I have experience with criminal law. I work for one of the most important law firms in criminal law in my country. I work with financial, corporative, and sexual issues. And the court or where we have trials, this is the biggest, I guess, that learning that, and of course, this will be like an amazing objective that I want to transmit to you or to all of you in this workshop. So now that we have more people right now, please, I need that all of you turn the camera on because I'm recording and this will be on YouTube. And of course, for Zoom. Every lesson, I have the responsibility to kind of call this. And then by the end of the lesson, all of you will have like an anonymous test where you can select what is your opinion about every lesson. Sometimes it's about the lesson, sometimes it's about the professor, or depends. But always that has to be filled out, and I need to take a picture of that. So I need that, please. You told me if someone needs that I do like kind of translation, someone needs that I because not all the people answer my message on WhatsApp, and I didn't know if everyone is understanding or are understanding everything that I said. And if don't, I need to start to do it in Spanish right now. So I have Ana, Francela, Gabriela, Jasmine. I need that all of you tell me if your English level is enough, and we will start to understand that. I don't have any trouble to start to do it Spanish English because I do it before. And for the slides will be so helpful. If you didn't understand me completely, you tell me right now. If don't, I will assume that all of us can continue with English, and I don't will do or I won't do the translation, right? So please turn on the microphones and tell me that I am not talking alone here.
I think everything is fine and we understand, so it's okay.
Perfect. I
Okay.
want to listen other opinions. I'm not the
All good.
teacher. I am a friend.
Yeah, teacher is okay in English.
Okay, okay. Vanessa, Rafael, please, I need that you turn on the camera. Jasmine,
Please give me a second, teacher.
perfect. And I have Rafael. Yeah,
Give
perfect,
me a
perfect.
second, please.
Crisia.
Good evening for everyone. Well, by the way, I have some problems with the internet in my home, so maybe could be a kind of problem for me if I turn on the camera. So please give me a second. I'm going to check this.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, I will let you know more or less about my experience. I work as a professor in the university and also with indigenous communities. But in English, the idea is that we can talk about some general topics. That was the course or the workshop that you paid for it. But also the idea is that we can practice a little bit about some activities that let us create or recreate some scenarios where we will use the vocabulary that we will learn, but also start to see the context. I don't want that you believe that I will give you like homework or so, but sometimes the idea is that you saw some kinds of videos, that you read some kind of articles, and that we can debate in class, that we can create a scenario where we can listen each other, even in the speaking calls or in the lessons. Because right now we are having like so different legal systems. So will be not correct if I will start to talk about the Costa Rican one or the Peruvian one or the Colombian one, as I do it in other workshops that we compare Colombian with Bolivian, because now I am resident in Bolivia. But now I can't do that. So the idea is that we talk about so general, but that we start to talk about international. That is the thing that we have in common. But also that you let me know what are your interests, and especially what are you working for. For that information, I will take it in the speaking calls, and I will start like to create a connection in my mind. Like, okay, Silvana, for example, comes from Uruguay, and Silvana do this, and need be here because this, or works for this company and needs this kind of content. That is the idea. For today, that will be like our first lesson. We will talk about some general stuff, and we will start to see vocabulary. You need to remember that this lesson is like available for you every time that you need it. The next day, for example, today we have the lesson, we do all the activity, etc. Tomorrow morning, I will send you the link by WhatsApp, and you can have access to this. So all the slides that I will show in PowerPoint, you will have it if you want corrected or if you want continue practicing some of the vocabulary that I will start to giving you. Why? Because in all the activities that we start to have, the idea is that you start to implement all this vocabulary, right? So if some of you have some questions, so it's the moment. And if don't, you can always use my WhatsApp and we can discuss about everything that you need. We will start right now. So I will start to share my screen. I need that some of you tell me if you can see, let me see one second. If you can see my screen, I need that you confirm. Someone that tell me?
Yes, I can see it.
Yes, perfect. Okay. So for start this legal English workshop, we will have in mind, as I told you, that we have different legal systems, of course. But in common, we have some division, a special division by the influence of the law. Right now, I am showing you a map that shows us the legal system of all around the world. And we have colors for understand what is the influence. We have civil law, common law, customary law, Muslim law, or Jewish. The idea of this is understand like where are you, what is our influence. And I have been in this moment in WhatsApp some countries or nationalities, but I want to know if here we have all. I am having Bolivia. I have people from Bolivia.
Yes, here.
Perfect.
Yes.
Rebecca, perfect, perfect. Let me see. I'm in love with your country. Give me a second. I need to see. Estoy teniendo, ¿cómo se llama esto? Regáleme un segundo. Chile. Aló, aló, aló. ¿Me escuchan? ¿Me están escuchando? Ok, porque me está devolviendo la grabación de YouTube. No sé por qué. ¿Tengo gente de Chile? ¿Sí? ¿Alguien? ¿Una señal? ¿Una voz? No, bueno. ¿Tengo gente de Paraguay, Uruguay? Paraguay, Uruguay. Va a tocar así como la casa de papel por nacionalidades. Perú, Argentina, Colombia.
Peru. Peru. Here.
Súper, súper. ¿Argentina? ¿Tengo gente de Argentina? No. Ecuador, Nicaragua, El Salvador.
I'm from El Salvador.
I'm from El Salvador.
Honduras y Costa Rica.
I'm from Costa Rica.
From Costa Rica too.
Oh, I'm in love with your country also. Okay, so we will go back to the lesson. We have similar systems. Even when we believe that don't, where I am traveling, I discovered that we just have the same with different names and different laws, different numbers of the laws, and the functions are different the most of the time, but are the same functions in the most of the times. And we copy and paste kind of to all the restrictions or laws that works in other countries, because our legal systems are not original, right? We copy them, and let me see. we just see what works in Europe or in other continents, countries, and we try to apply that kind of content in our countries with different contexts and different social stuff. So we will find hundreds of legal systems in all the world, right? But we will start, my idea is that we start by international, right? We know that all the states has the power to decide what laws we will follow as a society, and different points of view, scope, sanctions, and functions that the most of the times try to guarantee the judicial independence, right? That will be the basic. When we start with international law, this is the video that if I give them play right now, we will start to have it like a deal. So I prefer send that video by WhatsApp, by the compromise that you see it for tomorrow. But it's basically what I'm saying is what we have in common, what are the international treaties that we have in common and that we follow. Especially now that we have people from Costa Rica, we know that there we have the Inter-American Court of Human Rights, and then we have the commission in Washington, right? So we will have like an advantage because some people from that country can explain us how works the most important court in human rights in all our nations and give us like information by first hand. So in each slide, I will try to give you a slide or lesson. I will start to give you some vocabulary. The first word that we will learn tonight, guys and girls, of course, is treaty. Treaty, one international treaty, tratado. Si están tomando apuntes, o cada quien tiene, everyone has like a different learning process, and it's important that we have it in mind how I am learning, if I will take notes or just listening. But in all cases, which you will, all of you will have the recording. So no worries about to take notes because you will have this. And if you need the slides, I will send it to you by email also. So no worries at all. Treaty, right? The treaty is so related with customary law, right? What is customary law? Is the law that is in writing. Is the law that we follow because are rules by the society, but it's not necessarily a law. But when we are talking about writing, we are talking about treaties. Some of the treaties that I am giving you tonight as an example will be the American Declaration of Human Rights, the American Convention of Human Rights, or the Convention Belém do Pará. Here is one grammar concept, and it's so important, that works with Latin and in this case with Portuguese. When we have some expression in other language, even if we are speaking or making a translation to Spanish to English, we will find that we can say the first word as here, convention, but then when we are talking about, in this case, that is a perfect example, Belém do Pará is Portuguese. So we will say the convention Belém do Pará. We will respect what is the main language. It's same as the main names. My names will be the same. My name will be the same in Spanish or English because that doesn't change. We can imagine that this will be like a particular name, and we will I will give that use. Same happened with Latin. I will give you some expressions later that has the same principle, okay? And as we know, Belém do Pará is the Inter-American Convention to protect and prevent, punish, or eradicate the violence against women. This is the word that we always will connect to international law, the treaties and conventions, the most of the times. Then we have the private and public law, that the difference, everything is so general. I know that I'm talking with lawyers or with the students that are in the last years, but every time that I am describing something or some word, giving some example, if of course, because I am involved in some vocabulary, new vocabulary that I need to learn, right? So the public and private law, so that simple difference between these are the effects or the impact that have, right? Public law affects society as a whole, while private law affects individuals, families, businesses, or small groups. Remember that public always deals with issues that can affect the general or the state, like the public or the state, or decisions that affect us as a whole, as a Peruvian, as a Colombian, as a Bolivian, and the private law is always like more related with corporative or issues that is not really important for all the community. If I sell my house, who cares? It's my money. I don't need like to explain. Okay, I have to explain to the or give like a report to the states, but don't really affect it if I sell it or not. Then we have the public law. Here is some wide scopes that covers, and this wide scope we will see it in this workshop. Of course, that is international law that oversees relationships between nations by treaties, by conventions, by the courts, international courts, by commissions, by all the diplomatic stuff. And also, when we talk about private law, we have some wide scope that is so related with international, right? That is when we're talking about commercial treaties. And the idea is that in this workshop, we talk about that also. Then we have constitutional law, that is law that protects citizens' rights as afforded in the Constitution. Administrative law, that in some countries are inside of public, but in others, no. And we have this one like classify, the ones that govern agencies of the government, departments of the government, or commissions. By the end, we have criminal law. That is the one that is related with crime, but also if we want to talk about all the theory that we saw in the university, it's the one that allows that the society can live in peace, right? If we don't respect the rights of other people, we will have consequences, and that consequences are involved with criminal law. Until here, I want to know if you have some question or not, and if are clear the slides, and if you are understand me perfect, or I should speak a little bit slow, or I don't know, higher. Just I need to know that everything is going good and that I'm not talking alone, because I cannot see your faces. Just the recorder is having you, but I need to know. So someone want to tell me everything is perfect until here?
Yeah, teacher, it's okay.
Other one, legislature. In our countries, this the most of the times is for the Congress, but depends. Basically, the legislature is the body that of a country, of our state, that has the power to amend and repeal laws, right? And here we have other two words that are so important in our exercise. That is amend and repeal. Enmendar y derogar. Cuando hablamos de aprobación, we will say approve. I don't put it because it's like a common slang. We use that word always. But amend and repeal is not so common and is specifically for our area. So whatever that be the one that writes the law, we will call it legislature, even when it's the Congress who do it. But if you want to be more specific, depending on your legal system, you will use Congress. Amend and repeal, right? If you want to take pictures about something, this is the moment. Amend and repeal. Then when we talk about private, that some of you, I want to know if some of you have interest in private law or are working with. Just tell me yes. I will know that tomorrow when I have the speaking calls. But let me know. Some of you works with private law. Hello.
Hi, teacher. In my case, I worked in public law, so but sometimes I uh, do something in private law, but it's occasionally.
Okay. Someone, or maybe didn't work, but maybe has like an special interest for like was my favorite subject in the university at the university, or maybe I want to work there, but in this moment I'm not working. I want to know because the most of the information that we get in English by the influence for England and US, we have a lot of text in private law. The last time that I do this English workshop, I have some students that works with Nestle company here in Bolivia, and they need it for everything because they import and export a lot of stuff, and they need it. So she was in the course for specifically this topic. So I need to know if I have people that be interested, and because I have more like I have time to prepare
I
and I
think
can.
Jasmine, sorry.
No,
I
no
think
worries.
Jasmine and I would be interested in private law because we work with immigration here in Costa Rica, but we're also helping our customers in different kind of transactions. So it would work for us if we can consider private law.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. I want to know that. So we know that private law affects rights and obligations of individuals, families, small groups of people, businesses, as bigger that you want, continue being like private law. Okay, if you don't have like investment from the states, we will talk about always private. So in this case, when we I have like a different perception before I start to work and traveling and all this. And I always have like love, I fall in love with human rights and international law, but public. But traveling, I understand that the most of the times you need to create contracts for companies from different countries. And that is the moment when you need to use some specific vocabulary that you didn't know. In my university, for example, we never saw like English for lawyers or so. All that I know, I do it by myself, studying and creating, and especially I can't remember if I tell you by WhatsApp that I work with I worked by with a magazine in London, and they want to create it in Peru, so I need to translate everything for them. And I discovered that, of course, that you can be like an amazing lawyer in human rights, but we take you so much time create something, but international relevance that is completely different by private law sector. Because if you are really good in your profession, if you have to translate like the legal documents by a company, the money is there and you start to win in dollars. And it's so different winning dollars that winning the money of our countries. Can be pesos, can be colones, can be, I don't know what more, soles. So this will be like an opportunity to, I know that some of you has like a different businesses, especially some of you are trying to create their own law firm or are trying to take your process. And here is one aspect that would really give the relevance that needs in the university. But we can work as a translations, and especially for all the companies that want to come to invest to our countries. All of that is private law. So I want to give time to this topic and give good time. Contract law, that all of this like is influenced from London and US. Sometimes we have examples from Australia and Canada, but the most of the time we will talk about these concepts. Even if we use it, it's not like in a different area, because in my country, for example, we have everything in civil law. But in some countries, we have difference. So now in contracts, we will see that is everything that governs the rights and obligations in a document or from parties that decide take one obligation for them or for other one. And this contract law will be so related with private, but also with tort law. The tort law is, or I have in my country, the best way to traduce tort law will be responsabilidad civil, contractual y extracontractual. Toda esa lista es más de 7 palabras, tort law. Eso es lo que nosotros conocemos como las obligaciones y las indemnizaciones que alguien tiene que proveer a alguien más cuando ha afectado su patrimonio, su integridad, etc. So we will use tort law for the most of the contracts because it's the way that we have to protect some of our clients or to protect ourselves or to protect a company. Then we have a property law that we know that governs all the forms of property, of ownerships, transfer, or all these connections with artists and creators are covered by property law. But also the companies need it. I guess that is just a mistake because we are like in a learning process, but in my university, at our university, we saw it always related with, oh yes, the artists or the people that create, the writers that create books or stories or movies, but we never really saw it as the company sector and the private sector. And they need it so much when they want to invest in other countries. And then we have like all the family that when we talk about family law, we have all these kind of transfers between parties as a family when someone died, etc. But also all the domestic related issues. And sometimes you can start to see the mix between family and some criminal law when we talk about violence. Then the criminal, that is just a little resume, but you know that the states reserve the power of persecution and some vocabulary that we will start to see. The most of them that that you have to connect is the prosecutor. Someone of you told me, guys, what means prosecutor in Spanish? No se vale si miran en Google.
El fiscal,
I
¿no?
think maybe it's fiscal.
El fiscal. Muy bien. We will start to see this vocabulary after, but it's so important that that power always will be on the state, right? The apprehension, charging, trial of suspected people, and all the penalties, modes of treatments applicable to the offenders of the law are related with criminal law. Is the one that organizes all the societies, even when don't works how it need to works. But we need to study it, and we need to study all the information that is related with the trials. I want to give you an example and also an idea. By the end of the last workshop that we have, we do an exercise that now we are a lot of people, but we can organize it, and we do a trial. So little, but we do it. We do it about migration, and was one against other. And by the time of the activity was so easy, says like you accuse and you defend, and you need to do it with all the information that I gave you. That was our final exam. And you will start to see it because all the speaking calls are recorded. So by the end of these 2 months, that we will have a lot of time because the last one was 1 month, and we really saw the difference. By the end of the month, you will have a lot of new vocabulary, but also you are working your skills. You are having more practice in the listening and also the speaking. So by the end, you will have one exercise that the idea is that you can compare the first ones and the vocabulary that you had, and by the end, the idea is to do like a debate or a little trial where you can show us all the skills that you learn. Some vocabulary that is so necessary for a start. The first one will be provide relief or relief mitigation. This we will use it for all the most of the areas, but most for the private. When we are talking about indemnization in criminal or private law, we will ask to the judge to provide relief to our client. Proporcionar un alivio, proporcionar una indemnización, reparar. And other way to say it as an slang or as low vocabulary is redress a wrong done, reparar un mal hecho, redress, como revestir. Vestido, acuérdense, para que sea un escenario más que se diagrame en la cabeza, como revestir o revestido, reparar un mal hecho. Es la mejor manera de traducirlo, lo van a encontrar en libros y en artículos de derecho. Then wrongful acts will be actos ilícitos that the most of the times will be with criminal, of course, and damages, daños y perjuicios. It's not necessary that you explain these two words. With damages, you are talking about the two concepts. That, in my case, in Colombia, one daño es diferente que perjuicio, ¿verdad? Pero en algunos sistemas no. Es solamente el daño que debe ser objeto de reparación, como aquí en Bolivia. Aquí no se separa. And then the proved harms. Son los daños probados. No es lo mismo que lo que yo menciono en la demanda que debe ser objeto de reparación y lo que el juez falla que debe repararse. Acuérdense que todo esto dependerá de las pruebas. So the proved harms will be what we have proof about it in the process. The Constitution. The Constitution is a noun that makes reference to a book that includes all the rights that we as citizens have. But also, the Constitution has included the system of fundamental principles according to which nation, state, corporation, and how we are governed. What are the rules, the minimum rules that we need to follow as a group? And here we have a grammar explanation that we need to understand this lesson. It's different when we talk about a verb, then a noun, and the adjective. The verb is a word or phrase that describes an action, condition, or experience. One example, constitute, constituir. Ese es el verbo. Yo constituyo, él constituye, ella constituye, nosotros constituimos, ¿verdad? The verb. Then we have the noun. The noun is a word that refers to a person, place, thing, event, substance, or quality. For example, constitution. For example, phone. For example, bottle of water, my computer, whatever. That is a noun. Nouns. And then the adjective. The adjective is a word that describes a noun. Okay? The adjective, it's a word that describes a noun. That law is inconstitutional or constitutional. Estamos describiendo, ¿verdad? Ahí vamos a hablar de un adjetivo. Este es el ejemplo más fácil con el que podemos entenderlo, en especial como en un tema jurídico. No es lo mismo constituir una garantía que estar hablando de la Constitución o decir que una ley es constitucional o inconstitucional. We are talking about similar words that, of course, that are different. Constitute, constitution, constitutional, and constitutional. And we need to make reference because when we want to present international exams in law, these are the kinds of questions that they do. select the verb in the phrase, and they make this kind of exercise. The idea is that we saw some of them, we try to see some of them in our lessons, and we can detect it. But verbs, nouns, and adjectives are so important just for the kind of information that we start to follow in our minds. Submit. Submit. The conclusion of all the evidence and the argument in a trial, leaving the mission or leaving the decision on the hands of the judge. Typically, the judge will ask for the attorney, tengo problemas, acá se cortó, of the attorneys after final arguments. It is submit if so no further argument is permitted. Esto, lo que yo lo llamaría en Colombia, para entenderlo y que nos vayamos comprendiendo este tema, es cuando una etapa procesal concluye. Resulta que les voy a poner un ejemplo. En materia penal, yo puedo presentar las pruebas que voy a hacer efectivas hasta la audiencia preparatoria, ¿verdad? Cuando se acabe esa etapa procesal, ya yo no voy a encontrar ninguna otra oportunidad para realizarlo. It is submitted, culminada, se cerró, se acabó la etapa. Esto lo vamos a utilizar para los procesos y lo vamos a utilizar también para las audiencias. When you finish your arguments talking to the judge, you will have the option the most of the time, and especially when you saw a series or a movie in English, you will know what I'm talking about. Is it submitted? Means that you say yes or you say no. If you say yes, you cannot continue talking about none of that arguments. But if you say no, you can continue. This is like a conclusion word. Where is submit, you cannot talk or following your arguments or the debate in front of the judge. But what is like a test or a process means like the stage is over and you cannot continue. This is a really important word, submit. Remember, like by the beginning of this lesson, we talk about some expressions that comes from other languages. In this kind, we have some special expressions that I am so sure that we know it. So who let me know how I have to pronounce the first one? ¿Aló?
Ad hoc.
Ad hoc. ¿Quién da más? De abajo, ¿cómo se pronunciará? ¿Quién me cuenta?
La de abajo. Habeas corpus.
El habeas corpus, muy bien. Porque así nos enseñaron, ¿verdad? ¿Y en inglés cómo será? ¿Será que decimos habeas corpus? ¿Habeas corpus? ¿Qué piensan?
Es el nombre propio, entonces se tiene que mantener.
Pero ¿y si viene de latín? ¿Qué opinan? Yo no sé, I'm not so sure about the audio. If I reproduce something in my phone, I'm not sure if you can listen. So I will try to do it.
Habeas corpus.
Vamos a escuchar a...
Habeas corpus.
¿Pueden escuchar con el micrófono a mis audífonos?
Habeas corpus.
Perfecto. Esto es para que nunca se les olvide. Que cuando me lleguen a salir con un habeas corpus en un examen, no mentiras, en una práctica.
Ad hoc. Ad hoc.
Y el último, que es una influencia del francés. No es muy común que lo utilicemos. En Colombia, la verdad, no se utiliza, pero aquí en Bolivia se utiliza muchísimo. de latín, francés.
No je prosecchi.
Y hay gente que lo pronuncia como no le prosecu. No le prosequi. ¿Cómo se lee? Even if we are talking about other stuff, we will always use it as a noun. Ad hoc is so common that we use it right now. If we need someone that is specialized or some company that is specialized in one topic and we need it for a process, that company or person will be ad hoc. That judge can be ad hoc. The prosecutor can be ad hoc. That means literally to refers to a special or particular occasion and can be a committee. When we need to talk a decision about the financial troubles or the consequences about COVID-19 in our countries, and we need like an expertise committee that take decisions about it, that committee will be ad hoc, especializado en materia de. Generalmente es que tiene un conocimiento superior que otras personas en igualdad de condiciones o que por las circunstancias de desinterés o interés en una área determinada que debe ser objeto de decisión, como en el caso de los tribunales, quien no tenga una influencia o un interés legítimo o ilegítimo será separado y será un comisionado ad hoc, ¿verdad? Esto se utiliza también mucho en Corte Interamericana para gente que maneja temas específicos. Temas de, a ver, libre expresión. Traemos a comisionados ad hoc. Then we have the habeas corpus. That means literally made you have the body. And of course that has some religion influence, but I guess that in all of our countries we have it like a legal procedure that prevent that someone don't stay more time that has to be like of the legal. And in my country are 36 hours without the freedom. Can't be in jail if you don't have any reasons or if you didn't have the order of the judge. And it's like for protect that any procedure can be against the law and that any procedure can affect like the human rights of anybody. And then the last one will be like the nolle prosequi, que es importante, no sé si lo han escuchado antes y si los tienen. El ejemplo más claro es cuando hay un cambio en el poder legislativo en el cual, mediante algún consejo de política criminal, se decide que un delito va a dejar de ser delito. Es decir, que el Estado voluntariamente renuncia a su acción de perseguir y de adelantar cualquier tipo de acción judicial para quien lo cometa. Un ejemplo claro que tenemos ahorita con un movimiento latinoamericano, el aborto. No le proseguí. Bien. Yo no sé si los tengo muertos, aquí nadie me dice sí, los aburrí, no sé si están con vida. The tort law. I put one with a face mask, just for be didactic. Nunca se les puede olvidar esto. Tort law, va a salir en su examen final, se los estoy diciendo ahorita. Responsabilidad civil, contractual, extracontractual. Que ustedes me salgan hoy con un par de palabras en la cabeza como treaty, tort law, amend, repeal, prosecutor, judge, what more we say, provide relief, trial. I will be so happy for being the first. This concept of this area of law is to redress a wrong done. We saw it before, redress a wrong done. To provide relief from the wrongful acts of others. I feel like Siri, like speaking so. Usually by awarding monetary damages as a compensation. básicamente es el dinero que yo voy a obtener por alguna mala actuación en cualquier sentido de cualquier otra persona o de alguna compañía. Responsabilidad civil, contractual y extracontractual. Perfecto. Hasta aquí tenemos nuestra primera clase de este taller especializado en Derecho. Para continuar, yo necesito llamar a lista y necesitamos hacer una encuesta. Después de eso, quiero definir urgentemente los horarios en los que vamos a realizar las speaking calls. Y vamos a seguir una estructura que fue la que comentamos por WhatsApp, que son sistemas legales, sistemas de cortes, al menos en este primer módulo, va a ser justicia criminal y procedimiento de justicia criminal o criminal law, y vamos a ver unos temas de civil. Ahí vamos a meter familia, la mayor información que podamos meter en civil. Respecto a los siguientes módulos, la idea es que yo creo que muchos de ellos están interrelacionados. No es necesario que yo dedique un módulo solamente a hablar sobre el vocabulario de los abogados. ¿Cómo digo abogado en inglés? Attorney, solicitor, barrister. All of this information will come to you naturally by the development of all our sessions. It's not necessary that I just do a lesson about it, but as you saw, with all the information that I'm giving, I put like a space for vocabulary. So we will try to follow the topics. All the topics will be on our lessons, but all the order maybe change a little bit, because if I have to start to create groups as a civil law, I will talk about civil law today and about family by the end of the course, because I need to try to be didactic with you, okay? So I will do right now, I will call and I need to check that all of you are here. Give me a second. Voy a dejar de compartir pantalla. Tengo 15 participantes. Que no sé por qué. Creí que tenía solamente 14 inscritos. Así que ya vamos a mirar quién me falta o cómo está este tema. Espérenme un segundo. Si tienen cualquier pregunta, mientras que yo voy ubicando acá las listas, la podemos hacer. Ustedes nada más díganme qué les genera duda, cómo les parece.
Good night. I was wondering, when we talk about a constitution, how do you say Asamblea Constituyente in English?
You can say assembly, because the most of the time we're talking about, if you need to be specific, you can be like Constitution Assembly. But if you are talking in a related space, you will say just assembly, because we have the assembly or the Congress. So it's so easy to make the difference, depending on you and what are you talking about. I didn't know from who comes that voice, because I cannot see nothing. But I hope that you, give me a second. Who was the one that made that question?
I'm sorry, it was me, Maria.
Maria, I hope that I can answer you. Sorry that not call it by your name, but I am trying to figure out how to pause
That's okay.
this.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when we are like making a new constitution and we have an Asamblea Constituyente, so I was wondering about that.
Where are you from?
Peru.
Yeah, all the troubles that you have with your president right now, no?
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I'm afraid we had a lot of that.
Yeah, you will say like a constitutional assembly or the assembly. Okay. And especially when you are talking about create a new one, will be so obvious, because remember that it's a specific power that is provided by some international law, the most of the time by a conventional treaties, you know? that you, because we are a democracy. Kind of. Okay, I can see all of you. I can see your faces again. So I will start to call name by name. And then I need that you give me like 5 minutes more, because we need to organize our speaking lessons or speaking calls, as you want to call it, but it will take us time. I know that some of you are working, so I need that you try to be some flexible. The people that in this moment maybe are not working, or you're studying, or has different schedules. We need to create some schedule that work for us, and that try to work until the end of this workshop. Entonces tenemos a Laura Vargas.
Here.
Okay. Karen Quiroz.
Here.
Perfecto. No estoy viendo caritas, solo estoy llenando. Ana María Vaquero.
I'm here.
Súper. Esperen, vamos a comenzar otra vez para ir sabiendo quién es quién. Dije qué nacionalidad es. Laura, ¿de dónde? ¿De dónde? Laura Vargas.
Where am I from, or
Sí, where are you from?
from Bolivia?
Bolivia, súper. Karen Quiroz.
I'm from Costa Rica.
Voy a escribir así, va a ser todo más sencillo. Costa Rica. Bolivia, Laura, esperen un segundo. Laura Vargas. Bolivia. Ana María Vaquero.
I'm from Costa Rica too.
Daisy Velázquez.
Hello, I'm from El Salvador.
Salvador. Qué lindo. Ver tanta gente diferente, me encanta. Silvana Jaime.
Here, I'm from Peru.
Súper. Viví en tu país. Viví en Perú. Hay muchas chicas. Amo esto. Presencia femenina. Tenemos a Silvana.
You already called me. I'm here. I'm from Peru.
Y entonces, a Crisia.
I am here. I am from El Salvador.
Igual que Daisy, ¿verdad?
Yes.
¿Se conocen o llegaron por aparte?
Yes, la conozco.
Súper. Gabriela. Gabriela Noriega.
Present. I am from Peru.
Pero ¿también se conocen? ¿Son amigas?
Yes.
Súper. Luego tenemos la Lesca.
Yeah, me. Hi. Here, present.
Hola, ¿de dónde vienes? ¿De qué país?
I'm from Peru. Actually, all the people that come from Peru know each other. We are all friends. We are all from the same university.
Okay, nice. What are you studying? In Lima?
Yeah.
Nice. Which one? The Catholic?
No. La San
Okay.
Martín.
No, no la conozco. Súper. A ver. María Erlinda.
I am here. I'm also from Peru.
¿Son familia?
No, we are not, but we are in the same year of university.
The last one?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the last one.
Rafael.
I'm here. I'm from Bolivia.
¿En qué ciudad estás?
Sucre.
Ay, Sucre. Qué lindo. Vamos con Vanessa.
Hi, I'm here. I am from Bolivia too.
¿En qué ciudad estás?
Sucre also. We are best friends.
Ah, nice. Francela Quesada.
Hi, I am from Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. Qué lindo. Y Perla Sobalbarro.
Hi, I am from Costa Rica.
¿De qué parte de Costa Rica son? Ahorita me cuentan todos los costarricenses. ¿De qué parte eres tú? ¿De San José?
San José.
Qué lindo.
San
Y
José.
Fátima. Fátima.
Here.
¿De dónde eres?
Olivia.
De Bolivia. ¿En qué ciudad estás?
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz. Súper. ¿Me falta alguien? Tengo 14 personas y en la grabación tengo 15 participantes. ¿Me falta alguien por llamar? ¿Alguien se quedó por fuera?
You are the 15th participant.
Makes sense. Es que todos los días me agregaban una nueva. Me decían son 12, son 13, son 14. Y yo dije, uy, son 15. Gracias. Eso está como para subir de meme. Espero no utilicen estas grabaciones en contra de su profesora. Bueno, vamos a hacer aplicar la encuesta. Regálenme un segundo. Si me acuerdo cómo es que funciona esto de esta tecnología. Se van a ir dando cuenta con el tiempo que la tecnología me atropella gravemente. Así que regálenme un segundito. Reviso que esté bien. ¿Será que no se guardó mi encuesta? Pareciera que no. Qué raro. Bueno, a ver, gente tecnológica, más que yo. ¿Hay alguna manera de que yo pueda crear una encuesta en vivo? ¿O sí la necesito crear antes de que por alguna razón no se me guardó? O no me aparece, no sé por qué no me aparece. ¿Alguien sabe? ¿Alguien más tecnológico que yo? Qué raro. ¿Será que es porque somos muchos?
Creo que en YouTube se puede hacer la encuesta, pero desconozco totalmente si se puede hacer en Zoom.
A ver, déjame ver. Puedo abrir Zoom. Muy raro. Bueno, mientras tanto, mientras que solucionamos esos problemas técnicos, necesito que me cuenten, miren, cada persona necesito garantizarle sus 15 minutos en las speaking calls. Tenemos los miércoles y los viernes, me toca confirmar, o es lunes y miércoles. Son 2 días a la semana, en los que si vamos a pasar todos, mínimo necesitamos dedicar unas 14, 2 horas, 3 horas y media, solo a las speaking calls. Y eso nos va a quitar mucho tiempo. Entonces hay gente que no puede terminar esta sesión a las 12 de la noche. Hay otra gente que sí. Entonces me gustaría saber cómo estamos de tiempo, cómo estamos de disponibilidad. De pronto hay gente que puede en otros horarios, de pronto hay gente que puede los fines de semana. Me gustaría saber eso. Y vamos organizándonos.
Una pregunta. Eso es,
Cuéntame.
o sea, cada persona tiene que explicar lo que entendió, o sea, a esos
No. Son diferentes actividades conversacionales. Hay unos que son muy diferentes que otros, hay unos donde hacemos debate, hay otros donde hacemos presentaciones, donde hacemos preguntas, donde vemos videos. Cada sesión es distinta, pero es personalizada. Yo no puedo tener a 2 personas al mismo tiempo. Gente se puede quedar a escuchar si quieren, pero sí o sí me toca garantizarle los 15 minutos 2 veces por semana a todos. A ver, regálenme un segundo. La de hoy ya no, creo que no me la dejo. A ver aquí, editar. A ver si me deja editarla. Entonces los escucho, ¿cómo están de tiempo? ¿Quién dice de una vez renuncia que no puede hacerlo en un horario? Generalmente lo que yo hago es rotar. Si un día le tocó a uno de primeras, al día siguiente le toca a otro de última. Es como vamos todos rotando.
Pero esto va a ser aparte de las sesiones,
Claro,
¿cómo lo
claro,
vamos a
esa
hacer?
parte de
Ah,
las
ya,
sesiones.
ok.
O sea,
Yo puedo estar
generalmente
en un horario fijo.
terminamos.
Ok.
Súper. ¿Y quién es? Recuérdame porque aquí estoy sin video, estoy solamente...
Ok. Habla Laura. Yo puedo estar en un horario fijo. Ahorita no estoy trabajando, entonces tengo disponibilidad de tiempo.
Ok, disponibilidad, súper. ¿Quién más? Vamos a ir entonces primero con los que tienen disponibilidad. ¿Quién puede hacer ahí un sacrificio?
¿Cuándo sería? ¿Hoy o...?
No, generalmente mañana es miércoles, ¿verdad? Es miércoles y viernes, si no me falla mi memoria. Terminamos la clase y comenzamos. ¿Qué me pasaba con los chicos antes? Que terminábamos súper tarde. Entonces ya al final lo que hacíamos era, ¿quién podía cambiar de horario? Comenzábamos a las 5 de la tarde con unos y ya el resto después de las 8, 9, 10 y organizábamos los horarios así. Pero hay gente que trabaja. Yo no le puedo decir a alguien que está en la oficina en este momento como, ay, sí, salte temprano o en el bus contéstame la speaking call. Necesito saber cómo están de tiempo y va a ser más fácil por acá que hacerlo por WhatsApp.
Profesora, disculpe, le habla Karen. ¿Puede
Cuéntame.
ser a cualquier hora durante el día o usted tiene una disponibilidad también, no sé, que inicia a las 5 de la tarde? Es que la diferencia horaria respecto a Costa Rica son 2 horas. Entonces, por decirle algo, yo podría al mediodía mío y que sería a las 2 de la tarde suyo. Pero no sé si se puede
Te voy a hacer
así
un
o si
complique.
usted tendría que ser a
Bueno,
partir. Exacto.
las 5 de la tarde mía sería las 7 de la noche Costa Rica. ¿Sí? ¿Son 2 horas por delante?
Sería menos, no, son menos, o sea, serían las 3 de la tarde mías. A lo que me refiero es
Son 2 horas menos.
si
Ok.
usted hace los speaking, si usted los hace a partir de las 5, usted tiene también disponibilidad durante todo el día. O sea, es que no le entendí eso, porque si fuera así, yo tengo algunos, vamos a ver, yo tengo jornada no continua, entonces yo podría hacerlo al mediodía mío, que serían las 2 de la tarde suyos, las 14 horas suyas y las 12 horas mías. Pero no sé si es que usted también tiene como un horario para hacer el taller del speaking, no sé si es eso o nos acomodamos a su horario, porque si usted me dice a mí que
Sí, eso es lo que sí o
súper
sí
bien a partir de
necesitamos.
las 7 de la noche suyas.
Eso sí o sí lo que necesitamos organizar. No sé si hacerlo por países. Denme ideas. Yo los escucho cómo va a ser más fácil que nos entendamos. Miren que es muy raro esto porque no me está dejando, la encuesta está montada y no me deja, no sé por qué.
Tal vez por países no, porque, bueno, a mí me interesa mucho conocer cómo funcionan las cosas afuera, entonces me gustaría escuchar lo que tienen que decir en esas sesiones las personas que son de Perú, Costa Rica, entiendo que hay de Uruguay también. Entonces, no sé, tal vez podríamos organizarnos en 3 grupos más o menos o 2 grupos, no sé. No sé cuántos están trabajando tampoco, yo me puedo acomodar en horas de la tarde tranquilamente, pero eso, a mí me gustaría que fuera un poquito mezclado.